If you watch my recent video on me looking at and in a way breaking down my past 9 months on my FTMO account, you'll know it's been a big struggle. I got lots of comments on that video, which I was very surprised about with how many people sort of relate to it and are in actually similar situations to I am. So what I'll be doing today is starting to figure out a plan of how I'm going to pass this 9 month deep FTMO challenge. I am in a community called We Trade Waves, and as you can tell by the name, it is a wave trading community, meaning they look at patterns in the market. So I can't explain how this system works. However, it is very proven, 10 plus years, very experienced traders, have so many funded people within the community. It is a proven method that does work. The issue that I've been having while trading it is that when you learn the system of We Trade Waves, they first give you one strategy when you're new to just stick with that. And that was working perfectly fine. If you remember my chart at the start, it was a big uptrend actually at the start. And then the more I learned and the more I progressed within the community, they teach you more strategies, which more advanced people would use, right? And because of that, I started to mix multiple strategies together, and that caused me an issue because I didn't stick to one consistent strategy. When you mix different things, it doesn't really work in trading. Many of you might already know that from your past experience. So I'm now going to go back to the drawing board a little bit, figure out a trading plan where I just use one of the strategies that they use, and also reassess my risk management. Even though my risk management is quite good, obviously you can tell I haven't blown the account in 9 months. So that is one thing I am doing well is risk management. I just need to be more patient with my setups. I need to wait for them to play out and really have the best setups possible that I enter the trades on. So we're going to go into Google Docs now and create a trading plan because I can't afford to buy Word. So we will name this Trading Plan 2024. What I suggest you do is actually do this with me. I'm sorry I'm sweating so much. It's incredibly hot in the UK at the moment. But what I suggest is you do this with me. If you're one of those people that commented on the video saying you're relating to this and you're struggling as well, there is an issue with your plan. No trader should be doing the same challenge for this long, okay? So there is an issue with my personal plan and your one also if you're in a similar situation. So we need to figure out what it is. We're going to be doing that by back testing, and I'll be doing that later on in the video. So first, what needs to be included in your trading plan? So my first question to ask yourself in your trading plan is, what strategy will I be trading? Well, obviously, I use We Trade Waves, as you all know, but they have multiple strategies within their system, some more advanced than others. So I'll be using strategy 1. If you're in We Trade Waves, you know what this is. I will not be saying it on this YouTube video. However, if you're interested and want to know how to trade properly, there is a link in the description of this video and also the pinned comment. If you want to, again, like I said, learn to trade properly, it's a very proven system that works. The issue I was having is that I was mixing lots of things together. So next question is, what risk will I use per trade? So with funded challenges, I've always said you need to risk less than a personal account, because on a personal account, you can risk 100% of it and then the account's blown, right? Funded accounts, you can risk, you can only lose 10% of it instead of the 100. So in a sense, you have to risk 10 times less you would on a funded account rather than a personal account. So let's say you would risk 1% on a personal account. Then if you're trying to get funded, you might consider risking 0.1%. Okay. I know that's a very low amount. It's just an example, okay? I won't be using that. I'll be risking 0.5% per trade, okay? Which is on my account, $1,000 US. And the next question you sort of need to ask yourself, I'll put these in bold actually so we don't lose them. Next question you should ask yourself is, what pair am I trading? Now, what pair suits you? Well, I think the easiest way to answer this is, what country do you live in? Do you live in the UK? Do you live in America? Do you live in Australia? Where do you live, right? If you live in the UK, you would want to trade things like the pound US dollar or euro US dollar. If you live in America, you could even consider trading actually the same thing, or even US dollar CAD or US dollar Japanese yen, for example. There are loads of things you can trade, but don't live in the UK and then trade the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, because when they trade, the majority of the traders who trade that market live in those countries, right? And move the market. So there is no point of you trading that if you're awake during the day and then the big moves happen overnight when you're getting shut eye. Okay. So just use your brain a little bit there. So pick a pair that is in your time zone. So I will be picking Euro US dollar. I have had the best personal experience with this with this pair, and I like it a lot. So I'll be using Euro US dollar. That is all we need for the moment. We will add to this later on, but currently we need to backtest, okay, to actually figure out a deeper plan. So what is great about the way I'm going to backtest here is I am going to not use the paid version. I'll be using the free version of TradingView, which is even better. So the way I suggest you backtest, I don't know how you trade, and I can't show you how I'm going to backtest because that will reveal the strategy. However, you can just go back and look at patterns. For example, let's say you trade supply demand, right? Supply and demand, you would look at this as a supply zone. You would mark this out. Let me get a tool I can mark this out with. So you would mark out the supply zone, and you would figure out how many times it comes into the zone and bounces, and you get a strong reaction, right? And you can do that just by looking at the previous patterns. You don't need to backtest it and then execute trades and then fast forward and then see if it plays out or not, because you see patterns that occur a lot when you really study how a pair moves, right? So you need to look at the details, what happens in certain areas, what doesn't, and understand the patterns of your pair and use that data to work out your best entry and exits that you can figure out for your plan. After you've then backtested, you may have multiple more things to add to your list. So for example, if you trade, I don't know, support and resistance, let's say, you may have a certain pair that you actually figure out works better when you trade off support rather than resistance. Just a weird random example, right? So that's something you could add in as a slight alternative to the strategy. There is something I'm going to add for WeTrade Waves, which is the pattern that I'll be trading with WeTrade Waves, as they teach multiple corrective patterns that each structure moves. However, I will not be saying it here. Again, if you want to know any of the information regarding this strategy I'm using, you will have to subscribe to WeTrade Waves community. They are a great community. They are a family, okay? I had a call recently with the coaches and mentors within the community after they saw my video, as they wanted to help me out. So they really care about their traders and they really want to see you succeed. So what I'm now going to do is, starting in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be uploading my progression throughout my trading. I am going to come up with a more in-depth trading plan and backtest more and figure out exactly what works for me. I will then use the strategy on a demo account before going live to make sure it all works and it all is refined. Then I'll be updating you on a regular basis, most likely weekly, on my progression and trades I am taking. I'll also be uploading every single Wednesday just to sort of have videos like this, or have one-to-one chats with the audience about their progression or things I think are important about the trading space, and also information that I can provide to you from my experience. So thank you very much for watching the video. It's been Glaze. I'll speak to you very soon.